Okay, it's Green Week. What are we going to be talking about this time? Deforestation? Ice cap melting? Giraffes going extinct? Maybe temperatures are up 5 degrees Celsius? It couldn't get much worse, but all the doom and gloom stuff we throw at each other seems to bounce right back. Let's skip that part this time. We want to go straight into the heart of the problem, what people have done, are doing, will do, and what this means for you and me. This is Green Week. The Right Now brought to you by the Community Council and the Armchair Specialists. The main cause of climate change around the world is humankind. That much has been known for a long time. But let's put this into perspective and find out who are the biggest culprits of climate crisis. According to research done by a union of concerned scientists, in 2019, China ranked first with 10,065 million tons of carbon released into the atmosphere. The United States ranked second with 5,416 million tons, followed by India in third with 2,654 million tons, then Russia with 1,711 million tons, finally Japan with 1,162 million tons. Well, where does all this carbon released into the atmosphere come from? Carbon is mostly stored in rocks and sediments, and we use these as fuels for energy and power. So it's no surprise that fossil fuel burning is the top cause of extra carbon in the atmosphere. According to Environmental Protection Agency, around 63% of electricity is generated from fossil fuels like coal and natural gas, while 20% is from nuclear energy and only 18% from renewable sources like solar panels and wind farms. Another top cause of extra carbon is one we all use day to day: transportation. Things like cars, buses, boats, planes emit up to 1 billion tons of carbon in the United States alone. 2020 has seen a reduction in carbon emissions by a record of 7%, because people aren't using transportation as often as they did before. The coronavirus has stopped most global travel over the skies and seas, limiting those emissions to human necessities like import and export shipping. The agriculture sector also produces a lot of carbon, 65% of which are methane and nitrous oxides from cows. Following closely behind is industrial manufacturing of metals, plastics, textiles, papers, food, and beverages, all profitable products that we see on our supermarket shelves. A 2020 report, Break Free from Plastic, done by a collaboration of over 2,000 NGOs, identified the big companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nestle, that rank at the top of plastic pollution in 2020, with waste found in almost every country in the world. You might not have realized some of the most recognizable products that we use in our everyday lives have harmful single-use packaging, and they are owned and produced by these same big companies. With global outcry for more action to solve climate change, it's not surprising that different solutions have been created to slow its effect. One of them, called the Green New Deal, proposed by the U.S. Democratic Congressional Representatives, encourages eco-friendly technology, renewable energy, and clean air and water for all. Some new innovative solutions in restoring balanced natural ecosystems fall under the category of geoengineering or climate engineering, which involves large-scale human intervention to moderate global warming. Some scientists, inspired by the way volcanic eruptions spew ash into the air, causing more sunlight to be reflected back into space, propose to scatter the upper atmosphere with tiny reflective particles like aerosols. However, many of these ideas are too risky, expensive, or controversial to even be tested. But change doesn't have to be big, bold, and risky. Change can be small. A series of small changes made by different people can be just as impactful, and we don't need to wait to do it. Start by taking eco-friendly transportation. Turn off the lights when you're not using them. Turn off the tap when you're brushing your teeth. Finish the food on your plate. Maybe try this thing. It's a cricket. They sound like this. When they're stir-fried like this, they're high protein and very nutritious. Stop asking for more single-use plastics. And yes, your actions do make a difference. Think of it as casting your own vote in an election that will determine the destiny of Earth in the next century and beyond. Every vote counts. When we make greener choices in our lives, we redefine what we know as the normal. And people are more further likely to follow in our footsteps in pursuing an eco-friendly future.